So I wanted to start class off today by reviewing a couple topics just to kind of get this all fresh in our head, and hopefully everything's going well. So the first thing I want to review is finding slope from 2 points. If you recall, slope is represented by m, and we use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I have these 2 points up here. I always like to go ahead and label my points. It just helps make sure you stay organized. So we got x1, we got y1, we have x2 and y2, and now I'm going to plug in all of my points. First thing I need is y2, that is -7, minus sign. I take my y1, so that's 3, over, now I want to do those x's on bottom. So my x2 is that 4, put in our minus sign, and be careful, anytime you see this, I put in my minus sign, but this x1 is negative, so I can do parenthesis -2. And then I want to try to simplify this down. So -7 minus 3, I would get -10. 4 minus -2. When you have that double negative, you can think of that turning into a positive. Now I would get -10 over 6. And if I wanted to have this in the best form, because these are both even, I can take a 2 out of everything. And I could reduce this to -5 over 3. Okay? And I'd like you to try to practice with slope. The next thing we worked on was our formula. We just wanted to find b at first. And then we also worked at finding our making a table of values, which are actually kind of connected in a way. If you recall, b is where x is equal to 0. So we can combine finding b with our table of values. So when you're going to make a table, we make a little t. We've got our x and our y values. X is going to be our input. X is what we put into the equation. Y is what we're going to get out. So the first value I want to put in is my x. That way I can figure out what b is. So I could do y is equal to 3 times 0 minus 5. Anything times 0 just goes away, and I'd be left with -5. This -5 I now can put into my table. And if you wanted to highlight this for yourself, just as a note, that would be my b value. So this is b here. But if we do our table values, we want to get more than just 1 point, because we want to move into taking all this data and moving it into a graph. So we can pick another number for x. This is really personal preference here. Some numbers are just going to be easier than others, but any number you can put in. So if I'm feeling really boring, I'm just going to move on to 1. So y is equal to 3 times 1 minus 5. Now I want to calculate this out. 3 times 1 is 3 minus 5, which would leave me with a -2. This -2 is what I put in for my y value. And if I want to get 3 points, I can do one more. Again, you can do any point that's easy for you. I'm just going to continue on with going straight down 0, 1, 2. So y is equal to 3 times 2 minus 5. 3 times 2 is 6, minus 5, and I'd be left with 1. So I can see now I have points 0, -5, 1, -2, and 2, 1. And we're going to move from using those tables into having some graphs.